Hello, my name is Lee Chandler. I'm a mediator, and I'm here to help you have a more peaceful life. In negotiations, I notice that a lot of people follow rules that they haven't thought about very much. And one of those rules is often about who should start. Some people really want to be first, and others really want the other side to be first. If your strategy relies on getting there first or getting the other person to go first, you've already given up some control. So let's look at some of the reasons you might have a strong preference one way or the other, and what you can do to make sure you're in a good position either way. Please like and subscribe, and if you have a question you'd like me to answer in a future video, leave a comment below. You can also email questions to advice@leechandler.com if you'd like me to answer them in my Ask a Mediator advice column. I see three main reasons why people get stuck on going first or not going first in negotiation. Since I tend to think that anything you're stuck on is probably holding you back, let's look at why people get stuck and how to address those issues. The first thing that makes people determined to go first is anchoring. This is the negotiation word that everyone knows. The idea is that if you're first with a number or a proposal, you're setting a starting point that everyone gives weight to. Your hope is that this starting point will affect the way the other person sees the numbers or the solutions. Negotiations aren't always just about numbers from then on. So you want to get in there with your extreme demand or offer right away. You certainly don't want to let the other side do it. But being first isn't magic. If you just say $1 million and they come back with $0, you've accomplished pretty much nothing. If you demand that they do everything you want and more, you haven't magically made them more willing to do it. You might have even insulted them and made them less willing to engage with you. An anchor can be very effective when it's realistic and you give it some context that convinces the other party that the result is going to have to be in the range you're proposing. But that requires more than just being first. You need to share information and express your leverage so that the other person has a good reason to adjust their starting point. And if you can do that, you're going to be an effective negotiator even if you don't get to go first. So instead of worrying about anchoring, prepare. Gather all the information you can. Know what your leverage is. Be prepared to put what you want in context, and every demand or offer you make will have more weight. The second thing that makes people insist on being first or resist being first is fear and uncertainty. Some people don't want to go first because they're afraid they'll ask for too little or too much. They want the other side to set the parameters for the negotiation. Some people insist on going first because they're afraid of giving up any control. This can be a confidence issue, but more often it's a preparation and information issue. If you're going into a negotiation not sure what the result should be, you're the exact person that anchoring number would work on. Don't be that person. Do your research and analyze your situation from the most objective position possible. You shouldn't just know what you want. You should know what the other person wants and what the best, worst, and most likely results are. If you feel uncomfortable considering outcomes where you don't get most of what you want, you haven't done enough preparation in this area. The third thing that I see motivating people here is ego and hurt feelings. A lot of people make their early decisions in negotiation based on what's going to make them feel better. The ego side of this is easy to see, but hurt feelings are more subtle. Often, I see people who feel like they are victims in a situation make their first move to soothe those feelings, not to get a good result. That could mean jumping in with an extreme demand or offer because it makes them feel like they're hurting the other person. Or it can mean refusing to engage until the other person starts negotiating because they are owed that respect. Either way, if you're making moves in a negotiation to soothe your feelings, you're not dealing with those feelings directly, and you're not negotiating strategically. It's the worst of both worlds. The best way to avoid doing this is to consider your feelings as part of your preparation. If you want to address them in the negotiation, do it intentionally.